start with the tune. I'll tell you a little bit more about after he plays it, but I'm going to hand it over to him and let him get the ball rolling. Very well done. That's a tune called "There Will Never Be Another You" from 1942. I had actually never heard this tune before. A lot of the selections we do come out of this what's called a fake book, which essentially a fake book gives you the notes for the melody and then the chords, the harmony, and then you can really just sort of go off from there. They're great for they're great like if you have a little jazz combo or something. You can get a piano book and a saxophone book, and everybody can just sort of play together out of the box. But so we start with a pretty bare bones sort of structure there, and then a lot of what we do in lessons is we work on first learning just the basics of the tune, the melody, and the harmonic structure, and then we start building off of that. And the goal is always to try to make the arrangement unique to James Arthur. And he puts a lot of time and a lot of thought into these arrangements, and you'll hear later on some of the selections, especially the last one. Like you can almost hear like the big band playing. But this was a tune like neither of us had ever heard before, and we were just kind of flipping through the lessons, just trying different stuff out, and we stumbled upon it. It's a very nice. It's a very nice, smooth melody. And so we started playing it pretty kind of slow. We're looking for a little, like a sort of a calmer, slower selection. And James Arthur started listening to some recordings. Like, this thing's really up tempo. Like, it really cooks. So we decided to do the slower version to start, and then speed it up. So this is a really nice little tune. I don't know a whole lot more about it. It's written by Henry Warren, wrote the music, and. Yeah, but just a sweet little tune. We've been doing some bass guitar. This is my old acoustic bass. Show them the hole. There's supposed to be like a like a tuner in the side there, and it fell out. But it still works. It's still basically in tune. So The next tune we're gonna do, you're gonna see he's a very good bass player. He's just an all-around great musician, and you're also gonna hear how much better of a piano player he is than me. Just try not to look too much at my wrinkled linen coat here. Just pay attention to him. This next tune is called Work Song. It was written in 1960, but work songs were a whole style of music. If you're like, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" You'd have a guy on these chain gangs. It'd be like a prison chain gang or people working for the state, putting down roads, whatever it might be. But you would have a caller who would sort of call out some sort of melody or something, and the workers would coordinate their hammer strikes, their pickaxe strikes with that. So you'll hear in Work Song, there's a very strong downbeat every few measures. So this is one that we're going to have a little bit of fun with. And I told James Arthur's parents they're going to see a side of him tonight they haven't seen before. So he's been told to ham it up.
All right. You said it so many times.
Yeah.
I'm getting your
Aim it up.
How did that work?
For the first 2 weeks, it was very.
Explain to me what I just said.
So I'm left-handed, and this is a right-handed or a normal bass guitar. And so I play guitar and ukulele left-handed. They're restrung for left-handed people. But I decided, I'm gonna try to learn this the normal way. And it was a bit strange at first. It was pretty surreal, because it just feels wrong. It just feels awful. I got used to it. It's not second nature. It's third nature maybe. Like it's totally different from guitar and everything.
And he picked it up incredibly quickly because when we started doing longer lessons. We did like a 45-minute lesson instead of a half hour, and because we were like, okay, we'll do 30 minutes of piano, do 15 minutes of bass, and I was like, all right, well, yeah, we'll be able to stretch that. And he picked the thing up like in like 2 or 3 lessons. I mean, he picked it up like that, and like beyond my ability to teach him much more new, and so we are going to do some more bass selections, I think, for the next recital. But we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with this one, and what was I going to say? Oh yeah, talking about restringing it for left hand. This bass probably hasn't been restrung in 10 years, so it's definitely wasn't going to get restrung so you could play it the wrong way. But yeah, so but yeah, I mean he's super talented, which makes it really fun to because we can spend time working on more advanced stuff and working up weird arrangements of songs like this. So and you'll notice the Phantom of the Opera at the end, which is a callback to his first recital. This is his third recital that we've done, and yeah. So the next piece is another one that I'm really excited about. This is an old jazz standard called Body and Soul, and it's one of my favorite pieces, and it's really fun to play on saxophone, which is what I really play. And we pulled it out probably back in February, maybe. We were going through trying to find stuff, and it's a very play just a little bit of like the melody for him.
Like the starting melody?
Yeah, just really start the starting melody. Yeah, it's a very nice melody. It's not too difficult. So I mean, he picked that up pretty quickly. But the chord structure on this thing is wild. It's in 3 different keys. And this was like a pop song in the 1930s, right? You know, I'm trying to imagine, I don't know, like Beyonce with a song that's in 3 different keys or something. But anyway, but yeah, so it changes keys constantly and very subtly. It starts off in what, E flat?
Yes.
E flat major goes to E major, then it goes to E minor, which I'll explain to you afterward exactly what all that means. But it's constantly shifting around, and so it took a while. For weeks we worked on just getting down the harmony and the chords on this thing.
Like two measures.
Yes. Yeah. It took. There's 2 measures where every beat he's playing a different chord, and on top of it he's playing syncopated melody in the right hand. So it's very complicated. But he kept working at it, and he nailed it. And to the point that he began one day in lessons just slicing and dicing it up. And so I don't want to give too much away, but I started calling this in lessons Frankenstein's Body and Soul. And you'll see why in just a minute. So, James Arthur that one part where you play like one beat of a measure and then he goes to a completely different. And I've heard him do this. He does it there's a few parts that are the same. But how much of it is planned and how much of it is spontaneous?
Maybe 80% of it is like laid out before.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, now I could go to a different part of the song.
But it's all like up here, you know. Even the stuff he's got planned. Yeah, but it's I've heard like some of the little tricks I know or the little transitions I know are coming, and it still cracks me up. My favorite is when he goes into a Tenenbaum and you hear like the crack of the pedal being engaged. I love it. So and of course Tenenbaum, another throwback to the Christmas recital. So we're planting little Easter eggs in this one. This is usually we try to have like 5 selections to go for this recital. We just have the 4, and Tenenbaum reminded me of this. James Arthur is kind of fallen in love with Vince Guaraldi. He first did all the Peanuts music, but also had some great jazz tunes in his own right. And so after a long time of just not getting it for some reason, I finally picked him up this Vince Guaraldi book a few weeks ago. We're like, oh yeah, we'll try to work one of these into the concert. We started looking at it and we're like, oh well, this might take a little while. So we listened to some recordings while going through the sheet music, and
you flip right to the page with like the 17-note triplet.
Yes, there's some really weird stuff. So that's gonna be our project for later in the summer. When he gets back from camp and all of that, we're gonna start looking at Vince Guaraldi here. In the meantime, you can be working on your mustache too. You can. So we're like, well, we'll nix that idea, but we'll save that for next time. But anyway, it's a real pleasure to work with James Arthur. We were talking yesterday at his lesson, and I said, "It's like what, a year and a half?" He says, "It's been almost 2 years since we've been doing lessons together, and the time has really flown by." Like I said, we're here for 45 minutes, and I have some students, just learning to play piano, and a half-hour lesson. Sometimes you're like, oh man, this feels like an eternity. It never feels like that with James Arthur. We're up here, and all of a sudden I look down at my phone, and I'm like, it's 5:45. Like, I gotta bounce. This is
Well, sometimes that's because we get distracted by one thing for like 25 minutes.
Yes, the day that when he finally got Body and Soul under his fingers, he could play it consistently every time. That day was when I can't remember how it happened. That's when he started messing around with.
I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I wish I had been like recording that, like how that came up. But
I think I was just so tired of that one part. My brain just like short circuited, just playing this piece, and I was like, something else, please.
Yeah. So we've had a lot of fun, and I'll say you see like his personality. When we first started the lessons, like James Arthur was like afraid of me. I don't know, or he was very timid and he was very polite. He's still very polite, but he's so much more relaxed. And so I haven't told him this yet. But like the next step is we gotta like take you out to one of these open mics, or like get you to play background music during the cocktail hour at Victor's or something. We gotta share your talent with the world, so we can get you some exposure. He's always had friendly audiences, right? So
want to do the prelude next Sunday at church?
Yeah. There you go. That's a great place to start. At church, they can't tell you stuff, But what was it yesterday in his lesson? He started playing "There Will Never Be Another You," and he got like 4 notes into it, and sometimes you have these little glitches, and it was something completely different. And he said, "All right, I'm done." He's like,
it was like we had just been talking, and he was like, "All right, time to play." And I started, and I played like 4 notes and messed one up. I was like, Not right now. Sometime later.
So I told him he's retiring undefeated from piano recitals, but no, he's here, and we have one more piece, and just like those mistaken notes, sometimes that's life. And I asked him if he played this piece when he went to Vegas on like like a velour-covered grand piano. And he said, no, we did not. So I'm a little disappointed about that. But this is That's Life. And really listen, you're going to hear all these different parts going on. And he told me as far as dynamics on this yesterday, he said, well, my goal is loud, louder, and then louder. So there you go.
It was the first time play it loud, second time play it as loud as I can, and then play it louder than that.
There you go. Experience too, like having a concert inside of your house. So thank you, Jay and Annie. I appreciate it. And he's a great young man. So well done.
All right.